So, what was your typical day for school?
Back home, my typical day was just like wake up and going to school, um, going back home, taking a nap, and then wake up, study, and like we can go out if we want.
Yeah.
And
Like
then
at
go
night,
back.
like you guys would like
Yeah,
go out?
we can go out, yeah. Because we have many like places to go back
Okay.
home, so yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what were 3 things that you were worried about in high school?
I was worried about there is like 2 tests we have to take in order to go to university, which is the IELTS test, it's an English test, and the MSAT, which is kind of similar to the SAT here, but it's in Arabic.
Okay.
And it was hard, so I'm worried about it, so that because of the score. And I was worried also about the final exam because it counts 45% of my grade, which can like make my grade higher or lower.
Yeah.
And I was worried about like the applications to the university.
Yeah.
Because they might accept and they might not. And also the scholarships.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we didn't have final exams, so that was something.
That's fun.
What were 3 things that made you happy?
The activities in school. For example, the National Day Week. So it's basically a week full of activities because of the National Day. And we do like a barbecue day where all the traditional food are everywhere, and every class like they do barbecue outside. And also there's a day called the Open Day where they make an activities. They bring trampolines and soupy playground.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can just have fun.
Okay.
And also that's what made me happy.
Yeah.
Even like being with my friends in the class and the same class.
That's sort of great.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so what were some big tests and like how you prepared for them? And you kind of said like your final exams and stuff.
Yeah, the final exam is, as I said, is 45% of my grade, and it's so hard. It's like a week full of exams, and every day we had one subject to test, and it takes like 1 to 3 hours for each test. And I used to like go to tutoring classes, and if it was hard, if it wasn't, I just prepared 3 weeks ago. Like past the exam. That's it. Like that's the big exam.
Okay. So now we'll switch. Okay, so I kind of wrote a lot.
Okay, so where's the first question?
Just here. They're like
Okay, so what is a typical day?
Okay, so my school started at like 7:30, so I would always get up a little bit early, get ready for bed. We had our first like block period off, so I would use it to like catch up on homework the day before. Then I would just go home. I would always take a nap, like have a snack, do my homework before dinner, and usually like go out with friends, hang out with them a little, like try to get that in. But yeah, just normal day pretty much.
And what are 3 things that make you like worried in high school?
So I was always worried about like maintaining my social life and my school life, because it was always like in the back of my mind that I wasn't getting enough schoolwork done when I was with my friends, and then I was like missing out on something when I was doing my schoolwork, so it was just hard to like balance that out. And then also I had a job in high school, so like I also had to worry about like doing my job, doing my schoolwork, and still like maintaining my social life too, so it was hard to get sleep sometimes. So I like found myself like really tired all the time, so I had to like cut back on some stuff. And then like college applications was always in the back of my mind because I'm the oldest, so like I like didn't really know about like the college application process, so it was just really new to me, so that was hard. But yeah.
Okay, so what are the 3 things that made you happy in high school?
Okay, so my friends, they were always just like
Of
my high school friends. Like they're always gonna be like super close to me. And I said, looking at it, I kind of like reflected on like being in high school now, being in college now than in high school. So like familiar faces. So like when walking around high school, like I was like know everyone and like be able to like say hi to everyone. And like now being in a big state school is just like I don't really know anyone, which is kind of hard. And then like small classes, like coming to like a big
you
school
can
again.
understand more.
Yeah, you can understand more, and it's also easier to like form a relationship with your teacher. So like if you do need help, then like it's easier to get that help, I feel like.
Yeah. Okay, so the big test during high school, how did you prepare for it, and how much did it count?
Okay, so we didn't have like final exams or anything, so it was kind of just like tests and stuff all over the place. So we were always given like notice. So like we had study guides and stuff, so it wasn't like too stressful, but like I found myself sometimes like, oh, I really need to study like longer for this. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have like high school pictures that we can share?
I don't have any printed out.
I don't have any either.
Yeah, so I don't know how she wants us to get that. Okay. I feel like that's more like. Okay, so some of my own reactions throughout me and Hannah's interactions were how similar our high school experiences were, and like what our typical daily routines were. So like we both took naps after school, which I thought was funny, because she said that she was like super focused on schoolwork, and so I kind of thought that she would just like go home right after school and start doing her homework, but she takes naps like just like I do. She also said that she hangs out with her friends after school a lot too, which I do too, which I thought was cool. Some differences that we had that I noticed, she had final exams for her big test. My high school didn't, so it was interesting to hear how she would like prepare and study for those, and how I would prepare for like my smaller tests and stuff. It was also cool to see how she had like the same concerns and worries that I did about like getting into college. She was also new to the college application process, which I was as well. I'm the oldest, so it was all new to me. So it was nice to hear that I had a friend who was worried about all the college process. And I didn't think that I thought that she would be a little bit more, like, it would be difficult for her to like work through the college process just because she lived in a different country. I didn't really understand how that worked, so I definitely want to like touch base a little bit more on that, because I think that's really interesting, and like it's so cool that she came from a different country and like she's doing so well here, which I think is very cool. So it was a little shocking for me to realize how many similarities we have, just because we're so culturally different. So I thought like with the bubble that I'm in that like she would be really different than I was, but she's like a teenage girl, went through high school, like we had so many of the same experiences, and I'm sure we shared a lot more experiences than we talked about. So I just thought that was like a culture shock for me to like realize like both teenage girls who went through high school, so it was cool to see that we share a lot of the same things. So some small insights that I learned about culture was that I thought, again, that her high school experience was going to be a lot different than mine, and that we were going to have not a lot of similarities, which we ended up having a lot of similarities, which I think is really cool, that someone's in like such a different world than I am so similar to me. So I thought that was really cool. And I just had an overall really fun time learning about her and like her friends and like her high school and what she did, and she talks about how she had different types of like testing. So like she had similar tests to like the ACT and the SAT, which I didn't know, so that was really cool to learn too. So it was just really fun to touch base with her and learn about all the things that she did, and I hope she had a fun time learning about mine as well.